Hi everyone, I'm Natalia. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a video where I will be sharing with you which decks, Oracle and Tarot, brought me out of my slumber, I would say. If you have seen, I did a video on feeling apathetic and bored with tarot, which happens to me now and then. I'm sure happens to all of us when suddenly, for me at least, I'm feeling I don't know, a little bit bored, a little bit disinterested in tarot. And part of that is because for me personally, when I've done self-reflection, it's because there's things out of balance in my life. And so that tension that I feel with other things that are out of balance in my life trickle down into my relationship with other things I'm passionate about and create this ripple waves of apathy. But it doesn't last long. And it doesn't last long because this is such a passion of mine, and I love utilizing these tools for psychological growth that you just cannot wriggle it out of my hands. I always say I'm going to be that old lady that is going to be in her coffin, clutching my Zostak that nobody will be able to get out of my skeletal hands. I'm picturing myself already like that. So I want to share with you what has got me reinvigorated, what has got me excited. A lot of the things that I have to share with you, you're already familiar with, or maybe not. Some may be a little bit new to you, but pretty much these are the things that, and you probably have your set of their oracle cards that also got you reinvigorated now and that. These are what's got me started. First one that got me so excited and so started, and I'm trying to remember how did I stumbled on this, is Vertigo Tarot. This is the only one I'm showing that is out of print. I etched mine and I snatched this first edition. There was another second edition printed that was more glossy. The first one is more matte. I snatched it for $175. It was in excellent unused condition when it arrived to me. How did I learn about this tarot deck? Where did I see it? I'm trying to remember. It comes with this, my husband for the cover is this fantastic book written by Rachel Pollack. The artwork of this deck is beautiful by Dave McKean. Those of you who are into graphic novels know who he is. I'm not into graphic novels. I never even read Sandman or other characters on whom some of the cards in Major Arcana are based off. But I was drawn to this. Oh my God, how did I come across this? I came across of this because I was reading, what was I reading? I was reading some book on tarot. And in there, it was mentioned that Rachel Pollack has done a tarot deck. One of them is has done a book for the tarot deck. One of them is this deck, the Vertigo Tarot. What book was this? Why is this escaping my mind? Regardless, I have read that she has done the book for it, and I thought this is really interesting. Rachel Pollack has done a book for a deck based on comics. Well, I found out she was a huge comics fan, very much so, and quite a comics aficionado. And I also, in looking for this deck, learned more about the artist and his incredible artwork. Well, let me show you the cards. And I also learned a little bit more about Neil Gaiman, whom I already was familiar with because I've been watching the television series Good Omens. And as a product of getting this deck, I got myself watching Sandman as well, the Netflix show. Like I said, not familiar with the graphics. And so when I looked up this deck, I was struck. And I was taken aback by, first of all, how it doesn't really artistically, in my opinion, doesn't screams out comic books. When I think about comic books, I have something else in my mind, and it is not what I'm seeing here. And I want to show you more of the majors, because majors, all of the cards are gorgeous, and the majors and the minors. But I was so struck by this deck, and it immediately spoke to me that I had to go on a hunt for it. I had to go on a hunt for it, and I was lucky to find it. And when I got it into my hands, I couldn't put it down. It immediately reinvigorated me, and I'll tell you why. For starters, this is a very interesting deck. The astrological attributes on a lot of majors are different, and I don't care. I was fascinated by the story of how Neil Gaiman and Rachel Pollack, and there was an editor for this deck as well, got together in a hotel room to talk about the conception of this deck, and how they were all discussing which character from comic novels should be in a place of which one in a major arcana. And they were making the discussion, making those choices, and how then they were putting together just brief notes that they would send down to Dave. Dave, as my understanding goes, was not really familiar with the structure of tarot. And this is where the beauty of this type of decks lies. There comes a time, not always, in my opinion, when a very talented artist, not knowing anything about tarot structure, will tap into something and will create something absolutely beautiful. It reminds me of somebody who is complete novice and newbie to tarot, who can do a way better tarot readings than somebody who's been doing tarot readings for like 20 years or 10 years. And this is what this reminds me of. We have in tarot sphere artists that have created beautiful artistic decks. They're beautiful artists. And sometimes, in my opinion, some of those decks, they're just other pieces of art. They don't tap into the structure and the myth and the archetype of the tarot. But this one, I feel like it really did. I feel like they not only understood what Rachel was trying to convey to him by her obviously in-depth understanding of the tarot, but I think he also somehow got tapped into the archetypes and the myths of the tarot. When I started reading with this, I couldn't put it down. It really spoke to me, and it makes me feel like it's I love Deviant Moon, and Deviant Moon is very Scorpionic deck to me. Artwork in Deviant Moon doesn't always speak to me. This is more, for me, an elevated version for me of Deviant Moon. It is even more Scorpionic deck, and the artwork really speaks to me. Another thing that I love about this deck that got me mesmerized is that Rachel text in a book. She had to write, and this is a great example, she had to write a text from her depthful knowledge of tarot, and also she had to write that from David's conception, what Dave created. And so there is this beautiful marriage between her reaching and looking at the symbolism that he evoked, and her writing together and putting an interpretation. And for a lot of cards, if not for all of them, the interpretation that you get, the meanings that you get, is while somewhat similar to tarot, to what we know, to traditional meanings, but yet there is, in description, the way she describes it, it carries its own departure that I found to be so, so interesting. And lately, another deck that I will show for you does the same thing. It just gives me an interpretation, but the description and interpretation is somewhat different. It gives me a departure from traditional meanings, which not only makes me think about tarot differently, not only makes me think about a particular card differently and see it in a different light, which to me is always a welcome sign, but it is also, oh my God, I can't believe, where did I stop this card? But it is also something that is so refreshing. And I think that's what got me my juices flowing, is finding this deck and another deck. Oh my God, hallelujah, I found it. So that is for me. That has been so, so great. So here's, for example, Eight of Swords, right? And what's interesting about this depiction of Eight of Swords is you see 8 knives. And as you can see, the first knife is really packaged. And as you go up, it slowly unpackages itself until it is fully exposed. Well, Rachel did such a great job of describing this card and writing about this card in a book. It really depends also how you're looking at this card. Are you looking at it from something is unraveling and opening up, or you're looking at something that is wrapping itself up and trying to hide away? And I love that. I love that. So Vertigo Tarot, I apologize, out of print. You can still get it. You can find it for like 150, 175. Yes, it is not cheap. To me, I think it's totally worth it if you are a fan of the artwork, if it calls you. I think it's one of a kind, so I'm totally a fan. Let me switch to Oracle because I have oracles, and before we get, I have two more tarot decks. The oracles that got my juices flowing. I have heard wonderful Rician, Pavel Moon 513, talk about how much she loves Paolo Barbieri oracles, how much she loves Unicorn Oracle. I think she loves the Dragon one. I think she loves Dante Inferno. She loves his artwork. I haven't owned any of the Paolo Barbieri decks. And I decided to give it a shot. Now, Unicorn didn't really speak to me, even though I did end up getting it after all. And I am going to pass it on to a friend of mine who I think is going to really resonate with it. The dragons didn't really quite speak to me. The recent Alice in Wonderland didn't quite speak to me. The one that I decided to try, and oh my God, when I got this deck in, I had instant connection to artwork. I don't know about you. For me, when I get the decks in, two things happen. One, either I'm instantaneously in love with artwork and I know that therefore there's connection there, or two, on a fence and connection may develop, or three, nothing is happening and nothing may not happen. One of those three things happens. With this one, I immediately fell in love with artwork. This is Night Fairies by Paolo Barbieri. I was very cautious getting this because when it comes to Fey energy, I'm right there alongside with Rician in thinking that the only Fey depiction that resonates with how I see Fey energy, and especially how they're depicted in terms of their energy of being tricksters and smartasses, is Brian Froud's Fire Oracle. I do have Lucy Cavendish Fey deck, but not quite. I had Terror of Hidden Realm. It did not resonate with me at all. And even though this one is, I would say this one almost a marriage between Brian Froud, somewhat Brian Froud, a little bit of Brian Froud, I would say, and Lucy Cavendish, whoever the artist was for Lucy Cavendish, who depicted the Fae. There was something about this text that instantly gravitated. The art, just these images, the keywords, it just did it for me. And I've been using it ever since. I've been loving it. It is such an amazing clarify. It is such an amazing daily guidance card. It was spot on for me from the get-go. I also love when that happens. Don't you love when that happens when you resonate with artwork? And then at the same time, you also do a reading and it ends up being a spot on. I don't know about you, but for me, that's a steal right there. So Night Fires by Paolo Barbieri. I don't know what is it lately, and I said it in another video. Those Caribbean Oracle had been really doing it for me. I also been loving the small booklet where it's just a paragraph and that's all you need versus long interpretation of the cards. So that's Paolo Barbieri. Another oracle that I got a while ago, and I did an in-depth review of it. I will link it below, that I highly recommend. Whether you are working with Hecate or not, I highly recommend this for anybody, especially if you're doing any kind of magical craft, because this is a very, very powerful magical tool. This is Oracle of the Hecatian Pass by Ken Payne and Chris Butler. Shockingly, if you haven't seen my in-depth review, Los Caribbean published 60 cards. I etch mine black. 60 cards, guys. Not 33 or 36, how they usually do. 60. Which I just, this deck covers 60 aspects of Hecate. We know there's way more than 60, and I covered it in in-depth review. You can take a look at that. But wow, what a phenomenal magical tool. Oof, this deck shows me where I'm at in my spiritual journey, what's blocking me. I had a card that I shared, has popped up now 3 or 4 times for me repeatedly. It tells me what I need to address. It aids me, it supports me. It's a phenomenal deck. At first, I was not really keen on the artwork, and then I fell in love with it because I understood how Chris is utilizing the light and the positioning and the form in creating this oracle. So highly, if you've been thinking about getting this oracle and you're on the fence, sorry, too light to show you, I would go for it. I would jump on it. And I think anybody who's doing any kind of magical work needs this oracle. It is phenomenal oracle. It's just, it is, I can't say enough about it. Get it. You want it. And the creator is working on creating a bigger guidebook for this. So it's a win-win. So this is Oracle of Hecatian Pass. It has also pulled me out of trenches of boredom, although I've been working with this deck for a long time. Another tarot deck is a tarot deck I had in my collection for a long time. I actually forgot I had it until I was doing decluttering. And I saw it and I thought, oh my fucking God, I love this deck so much. I love the artwork in it. I love how it is so earthy and communal and relatable. It is Attackis of Orisha Tarot by Andrew McGregor Abitelemi, which I think Abitelemi means like a high priest in their tradition. If you don't know who Andrew McGregor is, Andrew McGregor is a founder of online Hermit Slam. He is, first of all, the reason why I got this is because of Andrew. Because obviously I don't know anything about Orishas and I'm not very familiar or knowledgeable with it. But I got this because of Andrew, because many years ago I took Andrew's course on Aleister Crowley's Zostack. We're talking about a person who has been using and practicing tarot for over 3 decades, who's deeply knowledgeable in Golden Dawn system, not to mention perhaps probably also Marseille, I don't know, but we're talking about somebody who really knows tarot. This is akin to Rachel Pollack's Shining Tribe Tarot. These are the people who really know what they're doing, they really understand, and they're creating a tarot that is slightly different, which is to me, yes, please give me more of that. Now, Andrew is also, it says he has studied tarot for over 30 years and is an initiate of the Western mystery traditions and an initiate in Lukumi Santeria. So he's actually somebody who is not only initiate, but somebody who is devoted, somebody who knows a lot about this culture and this tradition and this history. So this is somebody who is taken this history and layers and combines it with the history of tarot in a most amazing, phenomenal way. What I love about this is so similar to Vertigo Tarot. You get somewhat your traditional gist at the backbone, but you get such new nuance. You get such new look and perspective on the cards that you've never seen before. The book is amazing. You get the color pictures in it. But what I love about the book is that you get the story that is depicted on the card. Then you get symbolism. He goes over what is portrayed. Don't you love that when artists do something on a card and then they tell us what it's about? You get divinatory meaning, but you also get a solution. Because I heard recently that or when you're working with the Orishas, they will not only tell you what the problem is, but they will also offer you a solution. And he's following the tradition here along too. Now, I'm one of those people who strongly believes that you can access and reach into any cultures and any traditions, even if they do not belong to you, as long as you do it with reverence and respect and aim to learn and understand. And I also strongly believe that tarot and the multitude of tarot decks we have that exposes us to so many different histories, religions, cultures, you name it, are very integral for all of us to understand and to step into that type of communication with other cultures. I love picking up decks like this one, where I don't know anything about Orishas, where I go down rabbit hole like I did yesterday, where I have books today coming up on Orishas. Now, am I going to say that I am an expert in this? Heck no. Am I going to claim that this is my history or heritage? Of course not. But am I going to spend some time in understanding so that I have a better grasp and understand? And that way, my inner worldview on cultural diversity is widened. Yes, I will lose it. I will lose it because I feel like it's interesting for me, one, and it's important to do to understand other individuals. So, also not to mention, I just found out if you love, is it Fabio Listrani? If you love Fabio Listrani artwork, he has a voodoo tarot coming up in October. Look it up. The images are. Can I get a deck quicker in my hands, please? I love voodoo and hoodoo. I understand voodoo is religion. Hoodoo is a practice. I love, read a lot about both, love them. There's the cards. I etched mine in red, and I love the artwork in this deck. This deck been putting a smile on my face, as you can tell. I love the colors and portrayers in this deck. I love how raw it feels. The readings have been very smack on. This deck doesn't hide behind. This deck will tell you exactly how it is. This deck is honest, it's confrontational. It makes you look, even in the so-called positive cards, it makes you look at the other aspects of the, what we would call, I guess, shadow or reverse meaning without really reading in reverse. This deck is very culturally informative. It has a very strong voice in the reading. I would say this is definitely a swords deck. It cuts like a knife. It's a Queen of Swords deck for sure, which makes sense why I love it, because I identify as a Queen of Swords. It's one of those individuals you go to for help and assistance, and they tell you exactly how it is. Don't hold anything back. So I cannot recommend this deck high enough. I've been loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. I just look at the color palette. Beautiful. I think Andrew did say it's amazing because I don't hear enough people talking about this deck, and I think they should. If I showed you my favorite desk card, I love desk card in any deck because that's my. This is not the desk card, but I just love the artwork in this deck so much, and the colors, just so good, so good, and the book just cannot say highly enough. So definitely recommend it for all of you. You can pick it up on Amazon. Here we go. Look at that. Love it. Love this. Got the Six of Cups today, which had a very new, refreshing meaning for me. So this deck has definitely been waking me up from slumber. This one, in combination with Vertigo Tarot, every day, I found myself having so much fun and stepping so much back into playfulness with tarot that I found myself doing tarot readings on the most mundane, the most fun questions I had, and just letting it go, just having so much fun. Another two oracle decks. I have 3 oracle decks and a tarot deck to share. Now, this one also is something that I've seen Racine talk about it. I've seen Zach from Tiger's Abyss. He loves this deck, Angelarium, Oracle of Emanations. And Racine also loves this deck, and she recently got Angelarium, Oracle of the Fallen by the same creator. And she's been reviewing how much she loves this. I had this deck a long time ago, and I got rid of it. there comes a times when we come in a relationship with decks where we're just not there to really grasp what they're trying to deal with. We pass them on or sell them or give them or whatnot because we feel like we just don't get them. For me, I just did not get it. And then there comes a time when you gather more information, when you gather more knowledge, you mature, you maybe open up more like a flower, that when those texts come in, you suddenly get it and you suddenly understand the energies depicted, you understand what is happening, you understand what they're trying to convey. This is the time for me. So I have both of the stacks, and this is one of those decks when similar to Fae, right? For me, the decks that really depict Fae ways, Brian Frost. To me, the deck that really depicts angel energy well is this creator, Peter Machbecker. I feel that and angelic energies are depicted the ways that he is depicting them. I etched mine blue because this is the backs. The first deck, the Oracle of Emanation, is glossier. The other one is matte. I really like the matte one. I've been working with both of them, and I've been doing daily draws, and they have been really smacking me in my face. From Oracle of Emanation, I've been drawing what is my guidance. From Oracle of the Fallen, I've been drawing what is the advice, and I've been juxtapositioning them side by side with my daily draw, and I've been getting very beautiful reads. These cards, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with them. Wait till you see what I did with the Fallen. If you're not following me on Instagram, you know me, I'm the queen of trimming and aging. So this is the backs for the, but look what I did. Is that not perfect edging in yellow to match the yellow in the back? So the Fallen one comes with matte. I love them both, but I prefer this type of matte cardstock. The artwork is blowing me away. I was telling Zach how I'm craving a tarot deck that is similar artwork. And of course, Peter is working on tarot deck. He has majors already completed. Hopefully he will complete the rest of it because I'll be the first one to run and purchase it because this artwork really, really speaks to me. Just so beautiful. The deck is very evocative and the readings are really, really good. Really good. And I think that I think that these energies are so, I think they're really integral to anybody's work right now, to be honest. So this is Angelarium Oracle Illumination and Angelarium Oracle of the Fallen. Next and final tarot deck, and then I have one more Oracle deck that I've been so excited working with, is Tarot of the Holy Light. This is another one that I had years ago, and I snuffed it off as just another system that I don't have time to read. I, of course, trimmed mine. Sorry, the light is getting very bright. I've been reading this one with reversals. This is probably the most esoterically layered deck other than those that I have in my possession. The book that comes with it is amazing. Of course, everybody knows this. This is the best book that describes the court cards ever that I have found. This deck, now I understand, is not a new system. This is basically the mysteries and esoteric imprints of the tarot before the Golden Dawn system. So this is really nothing new. This is actually taking it back into the history. And I've been geeking out on reading with it. I've been geeking out on looking deeper into the esoteric symbols. I've been geeking out with Christian's books. I've been geeking out watching Christian's interviews on YouTube. I've been just really geeking out with this. So as you can see, I have decks like Vertigo and Orisha Tarot that took me in direction of a newer interpretation, more playfulness. And then you have decks like this one that taking me back to the analytical and cerebral. And you know what? I'm here for it because I love all of that and more. So this is Tarot of the Holy Light. Love, 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 love. Final oracle that I got a while back also because of Sorry, I have to do that sometimes to correct this light. From Racine recommendation, this is Laputin Oracle, also Los Caribbean. And I loved it before. I love it even more now. I have mine etched in blue. This deck, and you may not be picking up most of the cards' colors because of the camera, but this deck is so psychological. This is totally a psychological deck for me. If I wanted to know what's going on with me in my psyche, if I wanted to get a clarity in a reading in terms of where I am in either in my unconsciousness, my consciousness, my psychological resistances. This is a deck. It is very psychological, and the booklet is amazing. Even though it is Los Caribbean, the paragraphs written for each one are just so incredibly good. So this is a great deck. It's a very empowering deck. It's a very transformative deck. It's a very shape-shifting deck where one evolves into a bigger, better version of themselves, I should say. So I've been loving this deck. So these are the decks, my friends, that have gotten me out of my apathy feeling and slumber, and I just put a smile on my face. I've been reinvigorated coming into my office in the morning with my pot of coffee and sitting down and just drawing a whole bunch of cards from a whole bunch of different decks and just enjoying the variety and enjoying the playfulness and enjoying the especially the different ways of looking at the cards and different representations and different meanings that all of them have been offering. So I've been really loving some. So this is what I've been geeking out on. This is what I've been enjoying lately. Comment below, let me know which one of these decks you have, which ones you love, what has been kind of keeping your juices going and your zest going. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.